Good evening. A secrecy order has been slapped on a Western Suburbs man accused of raping a young girl on a public bus.
Let's go live to Deanna Williams at the Port Adelaide Magistrates Court. Dee, he'll remain behind bars until at least June.
Well, considering the serious nature of these horrific allegations, we're not allowed to identify him for now. But what I can tell you is that he's a 33-year-old man from Findon who 7 News understands was arrested at a worksite at Oakden yesterday. Police allege he sexually attacked a teenage girl on bus route 117 that was travelling from the city to the western suburbs on Monday afternoon around 3:30. Today, the court heard the accused is facing charges of gross indecency, indecent assault and rape. He made no application for bail and will stay locked up for at least the next few months. That secrecy order on his identity will remain in place for the time being, and detectives are keen to speak with anyone who witnessed the attack or has any information that could help them with their investigation. Back to you.
Thank you, Dee. And for the first time, parents in South Australia can apply for the names and photos of child sex predators living in their area. In fact, they can do a search on anyone who's looking after their kids unsupervised.
They've inflicted horrors upon children that defy belief. Locked up now, but the world will be watching when they walk free.
If you are a vile monster who offends against children, you've got nowhere to hide.
The new register is designed to give families the tools they need to protect their kids. It lists the names and photos of wanted child sex offenders and identifies predators living nearby. Parents can even look up the names of anyone their children are left with unsupervised if they have concerns they pose a risk.
Disclosure is not automatic. It goes through an eligibility and an assessment criteria.
That may require presenting a driver's licence or, in some cases, 100 points of identification.
This is all about making South Australia safer for children and giving parents a peace of mind.
The government says South Australia is now leading the nation in the fight against child sex offenders. The new public register is just one measure in a broader crackdown, which also includes tougher sentences and expanded police search powers.
As a suite of measures, this provides a very good balance.
The website goes live on Monday. Police warn anyone who misuses confidential information will face harsh penalties. Michaela Kamarek, 7 News.
It took just 18 minutes to settle the battle for the Liberal leadership. Susan Lee's job won by Angus Taylor. And the Conservative MP did it convincingly. The final vote, 34 to 17. That result was enough for Lee to quit politics altogether.
The victors of one spill become rescuers of another.
Oh, shit.
An official photo shoot making the wrong kind of splash.
It's Friday the 13th.
As Angus Taylor promises to drag the Liberal Party out of the depths of its despair.
The choice is simple for the Liberal Party: change or die. And I choose change.
A change that deposed the party's first ever female leader after just 9 months.
It has been tough. At times, very tough.
The vote leaking from the party room. Just one word texted to me: Angus. It wasn't close.
Angus Taylor was successful, 33 votes to 17.
It was actually 34-17 and Conservatives are thrilled.
Happy with the result, Bill?
Happy with the result.
Former Lee supporter Dean Smith.
An excellent outcome.
Angus Taylor is a fourth-generation farmer, father of 4, Rhodes Scholar, successful business consultant, but doesn't impress his former boss.
A lot of people say about Angus Taylor is he is the best qualified idiot they've ever met.
Senator Jane Hume beating 3 others to become his deputy.
We know the challenge that faces us. We know that many people have lost faith. I genuinely have no hard feelings.
But will resign in 2 weeks, forcing a perilous by-election in her New South Wales seat of Farrer, a first big test for Angus Taylor, a prime One Nation target.
We've got a lot of expressions of interest of people wanting to stand for Farrer.
We know it'll be tough. We know that.
Nominating One Nation's signature issue, immigration, as a top priority.
Our borders have been open to people who hate our way of life.
Despite appearances today, though, flagging this.
We are not seeking to be One Nation light. Absolutely not.
But after Peter Dutton led the Liberals from the right and Susan Lee from the centre, both disastrously.
Your bleeding votes in the centre to the Teals
you're hemorrhaging votes from the right to One Nation and others. Where will you take the Liberal Party?
Well, I don't really think of it as left, right or centre.
Mark, we're going to take the Liberal Party forward, not left, not right.
With each leaving something behind.
I'm particularly conscious that we got some big calls wrong, especially on personal income tax, and it won't happen again.
For Jane Hume, the dumped return to work policy and accusing Labor of using Chinese spies as election volunteers.
The comments that I made 2 days before the election were out of line. They were ill-considered.
The rise of the Liberals' new power couple as the sun sets on Susan Lee's political career. Mark Riley, 7 News.
Political editor Mark Riley is live in Canberra. Mark, how does Angus Taylor lift the Liberals from what seems like rock bottom?
Yeah, well, by modernising the traditional Liberal values of freedom, enterprise and opportunity so they're more relevant to people's existence today. And that means to both progressives in urban seats and Conservatives in outer urban and rural areas. It's an immensely difficult task. And Angus Taylor's nominated those hot-button issues of immigration and housing as key. And if he announces big, bold policies on them, he will capture voters' attention. But to do it, he'll also need something his supporters never gave Susan Lee: loyalty. Will?
All right, thank you, Mark. An elite private girls' school on Unley Road has been thrown into lockdown after a terrifying gun scare. Madison Stanley joins us live. Maddie, students hid under their desks for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's what we're hearing, Will, all thanks to a man a few hundred metres down the road carrying what witnesses thought was a gun. Woolford Anglican School was sent into lockdown as a precaution. The principal contacting parents this afternoon to say the school was advised of a potentially dangerous individual in the Unley Road area, and as a result, a lock-in was initiated to ensure all students and staff were secured indoors.
Oh, can't believe it. I cannot believe the look on their faces. They would have been frightened.
The drama unfolded outside the Metro shopping mall shortly before midday. Police confronted a man witnesses feared was holding a firearm. He ran to a nearby park where he was arrested. Now, fortunately, there was no gun, but the man is accused of drug offences and attacking a police officer. Here at Woolford, once police declared the area safe, it was business as usual. Rosanna?
All right, thank you, Maddie. Liv Golf is on track to break attendance records as the tournament reaches the halfway mark. Thousands of fans have again packed the Grange course, with an unexpected visitor causing quite the stir.
Dropping in for day 2 of golf's biggest party, a parachuting first for Liv Adelaide, a view that's hard to beat.
Somewhere of this magnitude and the visuals from the sky into such a big area is, it's really, really cool to see.
A perfect landing on the fairways that yesterday hid a sinister customer. This eastern brown snake stirring up the fans, 5 officers called in to escort it out of harm's way.
I'm not honestly surprised, it's so on brand for Australia.
Just got to, be mindful, and they're scared of us more than what we're scared of them.
Thousands again poured through the gates in perfect scoring conditions, which included the tournament's first hole-in-one. Not at the famous watering hole, but still a hole-in-one. 12-year-old Chelsea taking on the Ripper GC simulator and driving the 12th better than Cam Smith.
It's pretty cool to be beating everyone else.
Organisers backing Liv Adelaide's move to the smaller Kooyonga course next year.
I hope it will have a positive impact on crowds, but it's certainly not going to have a negative impact overall. It should be good.
For true Ripper GC fans, this is the place to be. The revamped Ripper Point between the 13th and 14th holes is a sea of maroon and now features the exclusive on-course Ripper GC house for the very first time.
It's starting to feel the experience that really Cam had the vision for and he wanted to see.
We've made our way up to the Ripper house. We love the Rippers, that's for sure.
The atmosphere, beautiful day. We're at the 13th green. What more do you want, Dave?
A cold beer probably top it off.
Honey Howe, 7 News.
Police are hunting a gang of thieves that has been targeting tradies in Adelaide's eastern suburbs. They struck again overnight, leaving a self-employed dad out of work.
Selfish thieves have stolen this tradie's livelihood.
Heartbroken, really.
Two suspects can be seen walking along the footpath shortly before someone smashes the side window on a tradie's Kia parked in his driveway. They grab a bundle of tools, then 15 minutes later, a sedan pulls up and more tools are taken before the car alarm finally goes off. Carpenter and father Nick runs outside.
As I opened the door, I heard a screech, and I've come out and I've gone around, looked around the car, and then seen there's glass on the floor, and I looked at and there's the window smashed open and nothing in my car.
The thieves got away with about $15,000 worth of Milwaukee power tools and batteries.
Terrible, it shouldn't be happening to a young family. Deadbeats, just taken away someone's livelihood.
Police were quickly on the scene but couldn't locate any suspects. Today, officers collected CCTV from nearby homes to try and identify the thieves. They believe the same gang may have stolen tools from a ute yesterday when it was parked at a shopping centre at Newton. The devastated tradie says he can't work without his tools, and unfortunately they're not covered by insurance.
If you've seen the tools anywhere, whether it be Cash Converters Marketplace or have been offered the tools in person, please don't hesitate to contact 7 News or the police local authorities.
Peter Caldecott, 7 News.
The Liberal Party's promising to cut the numbers of spin doctors if they win next month's state election.
Michaela Kamarik joins us live in the studio. Michaela, these are the people that are paid to sell government policies, but critics say they've gotten completely out of control.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Ashton Hearn is promising to put a pause on hiring media advisors if she becomes Premier. The opposition says it could save taxpayers $35 million over 4 years. It claims there are currently 419 staff working in communication and media roles across all government departments, and the spin coming from them has become excessive. The Shadow Treasurer says he'd prefer to see the money go into health and education.
Now, we don't think that's just a media and comms team, but that's a PR battalion, which increasingly is being put to work to make Peter Malinauskas look the very best that he can.
But the government insists media advisors are needed to convey important public messaging. The Treasurer says he has no intention of cutting the numbers in the team, adding that if the Libs believe $35 million will curb their over-the-top spending, well, then they're dreaming. Will?
All right, thank you, Michaela. A pilot and his co-pilot have been gunned down on the tarmac of a remote Indonesian airfield. The country's military is blaming a Papuan separatist group known locally as the Cannibal Battalion. They opened fire as the crew and their 13 passengers were disembarking. All the passengers survived after fleeing into the surrounding forest.